something like a bigger person picking on a smaller person? Are they talking about how they made of God or how what they do or if they smart and they just want to bully them and take their work and copy off their work and turn it in?
Okay. Like she said, overpowering somebody, it's like, okay, you did your homework. Give me your work. I'm going to use it. So they take advantage of you because they, like you said, they feel like they're stronger. Michelle.
Like 2 years ago and like this year right now, I used to take anger management. And then they told me like if I get mad, I had to take a deep breath and count to myself. And then I just walk away.
Okay, that's a good thing. When you get mad, take a deep breath and then, walk away because a lot of times when you respond, it ain't good, especially when you're mad. Always try to stay away from doing stuff when you're angry because when you're angry, most of the time it ain't going to be good. Do you and you.
It's a short girl in my classroom. Her name is Jakira, and it's like all the boys in the classroom, they be bullying her because of her height.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good thing I say taller, smaller.
So all the fourth graders at our school had like something about bullying, and we went to a classroom and then we went through all the bullying like sessions and stuff, and then one of the stuff that we talked about is on and on.
Mm-hmm.
What you said, on and on?
On and on?
Like continuous? Like
Yeah.
they do it all the time, like
Mhm.
every day? Yeah, that's another.
Repetitive.
Yeah. Because I was thinking that like if I, for instance, if I just came up to my shell and said, hey, give me that microphone, you're not getting it back. I thought that's not necessarily bullying, but some kids would call that bullying. But bullying has to be like an ongoing thing, like consistent, like continuous. Like
Right, every time you see her, give me your money. Okay.
Yeah.
My teacher, and then
Calling people names, like calling out their names every day.
okay. And we keep like I said that on and on. Like I say, it just keeps on going. Okay. What
I hate when people say I'm snagging.
okay. All right. So you like I say you hear when people say mean things about you. Okay. Khalid, I'm gonna move. I got another point.
Well, I hate when people talk about people.
Okay. Right. Remember that nobody likes to be the one that everybody's making fun of. So when you understand that if somebody is making fun of somebody, if you laugh, you're just as guilty. Because you think if you're that person and like you say, when people say snag too, and then everybody start laughing, how you think the person feels? So don't say, I didn't say it. You don't have to say it. If you sit there and somebody's putting somebody down or saying something negative and you're laughing, you're just as guilty as the person that said it. So if you're a real friend, you'll be like, hey, that's not nice. Nobody wants to be the butt of the joke. So let's stop doing that. Now, how many of you all have a little sister or a little brother? Okay. So everybody that has a little sister or a little brother, I'm going to start with Sasha, and I'm going to come all the way around. I want you to tell me one thing that you do as a big sister to your younger siblings that's a good example. I mean, one thing that you do for Susu and Sean, that when you do it, it's a good example as a big sister. What's your big sister good example? You thinking about it? Okay, come on. I'll come back to you.
What I do to her and my baby brother, I would like treat people how you want to be treated, and yeah, like be good to people. Don't have anger problems for no reason, and don't hit nobody for no reason.
And that's good because you think about it. You got sister, brother. If every time you have a problem, you fight or you bust somebody's head, so now they want to be fighters. They want to be head busters. So if they see you saying, no, you should never fight. You should try to resolve it in a good way. Then that's what I call a big sister good example. Michelle.
My see, I call my sister because my sister always in Seattle Washington, so I don't really get to see her for real. So when I get to see her, I just tell her like, when somebody just tell like bully you or something, you see how like I just be walking away and I just stop and I just name my feelings how I'm feeling, and then I tell the adult. That's what I tell her.
Okay. All right. You got it. Okay. You got it. Okay. So, who else over here got a? What's one of your big brother good examples?
Like when I'm like walking my sister down the street to the park, there's like people trying to like pick her up, but I tell them like don't touch my little sister, dude, and that's when they walk away and be like, okay, fine.
Okay. So you look out for your big sister. You're supposed to take up for her. Okay. Who else got a? Okay.
When I'm on the phone with my little sister, I try to encourage them or tell her that she's doing a good job in her kindergarten, her preschool,
Okay.
and tell her that she's pretty and stuff, cause she is.
Okay. All right. Matisha, what's your big sister good example?
My example is like if I come home with good grades, I want to show how she can earn good grades too.
Good. And you know what? I was just getting ready to say that. A lot of times, it's not something that you say or do. It's like right now, if you always get good grades, then you're showing people, your little sister, your little brother, that, good grades is something they want to do. You can't be getting horrible grades and then think they're going to be encouraged to get good grades. Because if you don't ever do your homework or you talk to the teacher all crazy and stuff, then they feel like, I want to be like my teacher. I want to talk to the teacher crazy too. All right. Are you the youngest? You have a baby sister or brother?
Yeah.
You do? So what's one thing that you do that's a good example for them?
What I do for a good example,
Uh,
I feed my sister, I burp her,
okay.
and
Good.
I don't tell nobody else.
Okay. Now, this is the tricky one. What is the one thing every big sister or every big brother, listen very carefully, what is the one thing that you do that you know is a bad example? Because all of us have one thing that we know is a bad example, might talk back or not do what we're supposed to. I'm going to come to you. I'm going to start from over here. Every big sister, okay, what's one thing that you know that's a bad example you know you probably shouldn't do in front of your brother and sister?
To have a smart mouth.
Okay. And that's a good point. That's why I want y'all to be honest, because you think about if you get smart, then they want to get smart. And so that's not a good example, because if you get smart with your own family and parents, then you may go out in the street and get smart, and then there could be a police officer, or it could be something that could get you in a world of trouble. So that's a good thing. So now that you know that's a bad example, then that's just something that you work on. Nobody's a bad person here, okay? You're not a bad person. Just you understand, okay, that's not the best example that I want to set for Baby Sean and Susu, so that's something I need to do better. Okay.
Don't leave food tracks behind you. Like she said, don't have a smart mouth.
Okay, good. Because if they see you pick up, then they'll know to pick up.
And also the last one, the last question that you said, to like help my sister with her homework, and then whenever she gets older, she can help my brother with his homework if he needs help.
Good. Big sisters teach the sister. You teach her to be a big sister to Baby Sean. Michelle, what's a bad example that you would set for a younger sister?
That you should not curse in front of them and stuff like that.
You wouldn't curse anyway, would you, Michelle? Lord, okay. That is, I would hope that none of you all cuss, but that would be a very bad example. So hopefully, we won't have any cussers in the house.
A bad attitude.
Okay, bad attitude. All right. Hold on, Xavier, you got to look. Okay, what's a bad example that you could show, or that you know that you probably shouldn't do?
Fighting
Okay,
with your mom,
good.
your dad. Yeah.
Right, because they see you, they feel if you do it, it's okay. So example is everything. Okay.
Get in trouble in school and talking back to your teachers and fighting and
Ooh, Lord, you got a lot of them. Okay. I'm just kidding.
and not doing your homework or
Okay.
your chores.
Okay. Martisha. You're a bad example. Something that you do that you know probably ain't the best example for your little brother or little sister.
Be mean to them.
Okay, yeah, be mean to him. I mean, especially a baby don't know. Shut up. I mean, a baby, you don't know. Stop crying. A lot of times a baby, they cry because they can't tell you what's wrong with them. Shut up, you cry too much. Whiner. No, you got to be, that's a bad example because then somebody else may do that. They may do that. Okay. Do you have a baby sister or baby brother?
Yes.
What's something that you do that would be a bad example? Or that's a bad example that you shouldn't do?
Me and my brother D-Lo, we fight in front of her.
Okay. Oh, yeah, you definitely want to fight in front of your little brother or little sister because then they think.
Cause she be sitting on there like, yeah.
All right, then. Well, okay. Sasha, now move on.
May I answer for my sister?
Huh?
May I answer for my sister?
Yeah, you can answer for Susu.
Okay, so the bad thing that she does in front of my brother is hiding from
Hiding
parent-
from him.
like our parents,
Mhm.
and whenever she gets in trouble or she breaks something,
Okay.
or stands on the chair table.
Okay. Well, that sets up my that sets up my our next thing. Miss Kia, can you think of something that because you have the girls, I always call you the like the other mom. Do you give them one thing that you think would be a bad example? Something that you've even seen, we have to give names or experiences, but something that you know that they do now that if they have younger siblings, it just probably would not be.
Well, I have one off the top of my head. Stealing,
Okay.
because I have. Well, when I was growing up, that was a big no-no.
Mm-hmm.
Because if people can't trust you, they don't want to be around you.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think just stealing, that's probably number one for me. Because like I said, you want to teach people to be trustworthy.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you're in somebody else's house and you don't want to have them going to somebody else's house or going into a store.
Right.
And then picking up things that don't belong to them and they think it's okay. But if they see you doing it,
Yeah.
they're going to want to do it too. And like you said earlier, it'll get them in trouble with the law. And then they'll end up behind bars.
Mhm.
So, and then they'll have a record. And that's just setting them up for failure. So stealing and I think back talk.
Yep.
A lot
Still
of
back to lying.
Yeah, lying, definitely lying. Because that's another thing that causes people not to trust you if you just
Yeah.
lie.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Now let me say this before we move on. When we say stealing, we don't mean like you stealing some jewelry or something. We're talking about honesty. Like, okay, there's cookies in there. Say, no, can't have any cookies until you eat dinner. And so you be in there and you look around. And sometimes it feel like them cookies calling your name. Sasha, Michelle, come get me. Kalia, I'm over here. She don't know how many cookies it is. And so it's stuff like that because once you show yourself not to be honest in small things, then you won't be trusted in big things. So stealing is stealing, whether it's a cookie or a candy bar or money out somebody's purse or money out somebody's wallet. Because when you start stealing little stuff, you get older, then you start stealing cars.